Am I live? Am I live? I don't know if I am or not, but I'm going to do a little more of my watercolor in Gugeli in Find Color by Gugeli as per view. So let me just kind of find myself and let me get going because I'm pretty sure nobody's here yet. And then we'll get painting. Okay? So let me find my channel. I think we're all doing okay here, right? And we're going to do some more on this page in Find Color by Gugeli. There I am. I'll just turn this sound off. Yep, I see myself. There we go. So hey everybody, and I'm glad to be here. Glad you're back. If you're here, if you haven't been here before, glad you've come to join me. And if you have been here before, glad you've come back. And so I'm going to be coloring in my Find Color book. Find Color by here, Gugeli. Over there. And it's a beautiful book. I put a little bit of washi tape down here just so I don't get the other page with some watercolor on it. I started it the other day, and I think that I'm going to continue with some of my watercolors that I have in the Kuretake Gansai Tambi, and I'll be putting some opalescent and some gem colors over top of those. Let's see how far I get today. Hey, Lori, nice to see you. I hope you weren't waiting for me. I've been a little preoccupied, but I have managed to get myself together and get here. So let me find my Artistro watercolor brush. I really like this brush actually. I have one by Derwent, but this one is nice because it has this extra here where you can push the water through this part and get extra water in your tip, whereas some of the other brushes only have like whatever you can get through the actual well to the tip. So this is great when I want to add some extra water to my colors. So right now I am, and I hadn't even decided what I was gonna do, but I think that I am going to start doing a little bit of the background. I know that I want to do her outfit in kind of these kind of cobalt purples and pinks, and I have decided to put in this kind of steely gray color, which I do have a nice where did they go? I do have a really nice gem tone, there we go, in the blue, that I can use this little bit of blue on there for him, and I can use this little bit of pink on there for her. Now these are all opalescents. We'll see how those happen maybe a little later on. But in the meantime, I'm just going to start painting. So how are you doing, Lori? Are you doing anything particular at the moment? I think I'm going to start painting my background. I haven't really quite decided what I'm going to do with it, but I have a feeling that I'm leaning towards some purpley reds. Maybe let's go with the 176 in the, where's my, there it is. Sorry guys. This is the Artistro, which I picked this up actually at a thrift store. I think I only paid about $6 for it. And it's got some beautiful watercolors that I really like. I put this little foam pieces in here so I can travel with it. But here's the set. What is it? Gotta be like, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 8. So 48 colors in this set. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun to use. And right now I want to use this little bit of Cobalt Violet that I will put in my tray over here. You can't see it. But I'll show you in a second here. Let me just put a little more color in this. Okay, set that over there. So I've got 2 watercolor sets open now. This is my watercolor palette. It's actually an egg, deviled egg tray that I picked up at HomeSense. And I thought, oh yeah, this will work out good. So what I do sometimes is I will put colors in the different wells and I'll allow them to dry out. They can all be reactivated with water, no problem. Because I didn't have this one in any well, I decided to put it up at the top here. So this is the color that I kind of want to use on my background. But before I go with my background, I also want to put a little bit of water in there. Now, this is a watercolor brush pen, and I was using it to mix that purple, but I just dipped the end of it in the water, my clear water over here, because I want to apply some water wet on wet. So this will work out good with the because I can kind of see it's going to allow me to put more color on it. Especially if I keep getting it wet. Now, a little bit of a wet on wet technique. I'm just pulling up this and adding some more of this. Paint. I'm going to let the water take it past, and I can play with that a little bit more as I go along. Hi, Devin. Oh, yes, it does. And I want to do more cherry blossom vibes because you may not be able to pick it up in the video, but there is a little bit of a gray, almost a cherry blossom on the trees. And I know in Japan the blossoms come almost before the leaves do. So, thank you, Devin. I'm doing well, View. I had a great day today. I finished work. I had a nice work lunch with our volunteers for the union. And then after that, I quickly came home and then got myself out the door because I was having a facial today. So, yes, I treated myself. Just one of those things that we need to do for ourselves every once in a while. Now I have to decide, as I'm getting on in my years, whether I want to do it on a regular, ongoing basis instead of the every once in a while thing. Do you guys ever go for facials or any of that stuff? I did it a lot more often as a kind of a fun girls thing to do, not a regular thing, but hey, let's face it. I'm 70 this year. I might need to do these things on a more regular basis just to kind of keep the skin texture going. And apparently that's what they were telling me today. Though, you know how it is when people are trying to sell you a program. I just have to, I can't do the quick, I'm going to tell you now. I need to go and look if I can afford it, especially with the amount that they're asking for these days on some of this stuff. So, yeah, I love a massage. It makes me feel really good, but yeah, I had my skin diagnosed. There's a lot more stuff going on than I think there is. Yeah, me too. It really tried to get me into buying a number of treatments, which would have cost me in the thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. But I kind of went, I need to think about it. I can't decide now. So I took her card. If she wants to offer me somewhat similar of a discount a little later on, that's up to her if I decide to take it. If not, I may not take it. So that's the way it goes, right? So yeah, just trying to get some of this that I've got here. This little cobalt purple. That's working a little better. Yeah, I like how that's coming out. Hi, Barbara. Lori, gotcha there. Yeah, I'd rather buy art supplies too, Devin. Yolande and Lori, and yeah, have I got everybody? Hey, hey, everyone. Oh, better make sure I'm in live chat. My goodness. Okay, here we go. So I think I'm just going to put a little bit more, I want a little bit more intensity down here next to her face too. So I'm going to put a little color, little water in there first. So when I put the color, lay that color in there, it'll just explode a bit. I didn't show you, sorry, I have that cobalt purple from my palette in this part with a little bit of water that I'm just picking up every once in a while and then dotting in to, into what's already a wet spot. And then trying to pull it out a little bit more. So I hope everybody's doing okay. Like I said, I had a facial today. Getting on with things. My son's gone off with his uncle, and he's out in Alberta right now, near in the Red Deer area for a couple of weeks, so I'm at home alone and enjoying myself. I don't have to deal with him and his timeline and his supper and all that. I can do with me. Well, thank you, View. I appreciate it. Let's do a little bit more down here. So, View, I saw that you had caught up and you had done the skin shades on these. I haven't seen if you've done anything else. Yeah, and well, cooking only for me and cleaning up after myself. Yes, Devin, that is it. No major stuff. And looking after the cat that likes to wake me up in the morning since my son's not here. He gets me up to get him out, let him outside around 6 o'clock. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Even in the cold of winter, my cat likes to go outside. Yep, yep. That's what I used on these. This colors the world, and from what I could see on the picture, that was her belly that was showing there. So that's what I went with. The rest of it, we'll see how it goes. So, since I have that there for her, I think I want to do a little more red than purple for her dress. You know what, Devin, though? That cat this morning, 5 o'clock, he bit me in the bed. And when I thought he wanted something to eat, he ran up behind me and bit me in the leg and said, "No, I want to go outside." So he went outside for 2 hours. That's what you get. Oh, this, okay. I need to figure this part out. This part back here is going to be purple too. Before I go any further, I'm just looking at this background here and I need to finish this here. So that's her. This is background. Just a tiny, tiny bit there. Some in here. Play with. I know there's a skull back there. That's her. This is her clothing. Just get a little more water on there. The water brushes are handy when you want to really just spread that paint out a bit, I have to say. Now I do a lot of watercolor here in the beginning, but I do finish off all of my pictures usually with pencil crayon. Yes, Devin, you caught me. Just kind of had to decide where I was going with this. I was wondering if I was going to do her in a pinky purple, but I might change it to a green. I don't know. Let me think about this. This over here needs to be purple too while I'm thinking. So in case you're wondering, I do have the water brush, but I have also a couple really quickly put some water on the end of my brush. I can do it without adding a whole bunch of water to the pen. And that way I don't necessarily have to flood my papers with water either. Oh, well, that's okay. I'm just going to lift this clip. I won't take quite as much paper. There we go. Let's see. It'll work. There we go. Now, because these are watercolors, since they're so pale, I'm not really too worried what I get behind there. Though, if I were you, I would put some parchment paper behind. I do not have any at the moment. There. Background. Oh, a little bit over here behind his tail. Just a touch. Just a touch in there, I think, too. Not a lot. And I'm just going to take a little bit just to make sure I've got all the purple all the way to the edge. And I like that it's uneven because I think it's more atmospheric. Ah. Yeah, I got that. Yes, the image is very helpful to see what is what. I don't necessarily color it the same way. Oh, I use the clip. I use the clip just because it helps me keep my pages together and flat. And because it's a big book. Usually it helps me keep it, but it's getting to the point where it's such a big book that I cannot keep it all the way to the edge, you see? So I've got washi tape on this side. I'm trying to be a little more careful, but you can see I painted a little on there, just a touch. Not enough to make me worry. But in the meantime, I'll put the clip back on. It also helps me to find my page. I need a bigger clip. I've used all my big clips, that's why. And yeah, it stops the paper from popping up. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, it just kind of keeps the paper a little flatter for me so I don't have to struggle with it every 5-10 minutes. So, where am I? I am trying to decide what I want to do with her dress. I don't know if I want to go pink. I'm going to think about that a little longer. Let's deal with I have a little cloth here that I can use to get some of the color out of my brush. It's just handy to have that here underneath my book. I got this it was a freebie in the mail. Maybe a lot of other Canadians might have gotten something similar, but lower left side here. I'm not sure if that's his, well, you might be right. That could be a whole bunch of purple there. I've been kind of leaving it for his hair, but you may be right. Let's go there. If I just put a tone in there, I can still put more hair in there if I need to. So I just dropped from my brush, I just dropped some clean water from my brush. And now I'm adding some tone of purple there to let it blend out. And we'll see where that goes. Thank you, Devin. I have a reference there. Where did I put that? Where did I? Oh, here it is. Sorry. Did you hear a big bang? It was just something under my desk. Now, these are huge. I got a part so we can get to the right. Here it is. Here it is. So this is the picture we're doing right here. And yeah, Devin, you're probably right in that's this lower corner here. It's got more to do with his hair than anything else, but I can always add like that swatch there, which seems to be this swatch, in later. That's the dog's foot right there. His arm, yeah, they kind of cut it off a little bit shorter than what's in the picture. Yeah, she has more of a dark purple in this picture than what I have, and I did very much more of a pinky violet than what they have in this picture here, which is a lot of darker violets on the leaves that we're showing in the gray tones. I might do that yet, and maybe I will do her in a darker purple. That might be nice. That's right. It can be whatever I want it to be. And I can always change it later. So let's do her in more of a purple. And I have this Imperial Violet will be really nice on her. In the Kuretake Gansai Tambi, I guess I should say. Tambi. And I'm just going to move my Artistro off to the side. Kuretake is here. Just moving things around, and my Imperial Violet is this baby. Just going to give it a little spritz. Before I try to use it. Oh, I love this book. It's so nice to play in too, Devin. Like the paper is, you can do so much with it. Like it's taking water, it's taking all sorts of stuff very easily, and I was able to pull all that resist off. Hardly did any damage to the little bit of the printing, but it was easy to fix. So, anyways, let's see what I can do with this lady in a little darker, more of a royal purple, and I'm adding it. If you can see, I'm actually adding my Kuretake Gansai Tambi right here on my plate that I will mix in with those little red bits and some water, and we'll do her outfit. And that's where this is going to go. So yeah, using colors that are either mixed together or the same tends to bring your paintings together easily, just because you are using the colors all over. Now with purple and pink, I may yet do that cat. I haven't quite decided how these are going to be. Yeah, I like that. I haven't quite decided how the cat's going to be or how the dog's going to be, but I'm thinking that the dog will be some kind of a Japanese, either a Shiba Inu or a Shiba. I'm trying to think of the big one that I saw last night. It'll come back to me. But yeah, they're both Shiba Akitas. That's what it was. But they're both beautiful dogs. The Shiba Akita is just a little bit bigger. The Shiba looks smaller. Yes, Devin, I was watching you today. You are the queen of... Sorry, you are the queen of jelly printing. My thoughts just evaded me there for a second. But so much fun to use all those different things like the cassette tapes to just print with. Ah, sorry guys, I'm just reading all your comments and I don't talk when I read usually. Well, thank you, Devin. You are the queen of jelly printing at the moment. As far the queen of Canadian jelly printing, can I do that way? Will you accept that? This is that piece. I'm talking and trying to decide if these pieces of her clothing are what I want to color purple. Yeah, this is definitely not the colors that they did in their picture, but I'm liking how it's turned out. So this week, didn't unknowingly, or I kind of thought that he was, but didn't really know that was going to happen this week. But my son took off to visit his uncle in Alberta, so he's there while I'm here. So I have some time on my hands that I don't that I would usually spend with him, just kind of finding out what's going on every day and catching up and enjoying some time, even just watching TV or whatever together. But yeah, he's taken off to visit his uncle for a little while, so I'm enjoying the bachelorette life. And I was out getting a facial today, which I kind of enjoyed, but oh my gosh. To get those things on a regular basis, it is expensive. Yeah, it is, Devin. It is more fun to decide your own color scheme. Sometimes I kind of look to get an idea, but for the most part, I kind of go with what I think I want to do. But it's always fun to find out what parts are what. Because sometimes in these pictures, it's hard to see what it is you're coloring. You can't really figure it out. Yeah. Kind of like here, I'm trying to do her clothing around the cat. Oh, it's not necessarily what I wanted to do with that, but I'll leave that there. Yeah, I'm glad she's dark purple. He's kind of a darker gray blue, and then we'll bring up the other colors in between. Are you sure this is yours, Barb? I've had it for a really long time. That bone folders come in very handy at times. I like to use them when I'm gluing and folding, of course. I want to do this bit around your midriff a little more transparent, so I'm going to wait till some of this color's gone out of the tip of my brush. Rather than waste it, I'll put it in some of these other spots. Seems to be getting a little paler. more like what I'm looking for. Let's just do this. Oh, good night, Devin. Have a good night and sleep well. Hugs to you, and we'll see you again. Well, around the stream, I guess. What's today? Today was Wednesday. Yes, I had a big lunch that I had to go to for the volunteers, so I couldn't be at Dev's thing for very long today. I like to catch up with all my friends when they're on. Yes, I hope you all too. Still got a lot of color on this brush. Let's see, maybe I could do. Hold on. The other thing that's good when you put your colors in here is you can see the stuff in the middle there I've got right now is very liquid. I got lots of water in it. See all these? These are dry as bone. That's all watercolor. And I will use those yet with my other watercolors if I can. If I don't, I'll clean them out, but I usually try and use something similar or mix in to make what I want. Don't waste your paints. There you go, my little tip. So right now I just really want and have a paper towel. I just really want this part here to be just barely purple. Just barely purple. There we go. A little more transparent. That I can deal with later. But that's what I want. There we go. Kind of show that off a bit. Cat. And okay, let's get the rest of this outfit. So once I had done that real pale, I just dipped back into my color that I had in my palette over here and brought that little bit deeper color out. And we're going to do this one more time, even more so. That. I have to admit that I'm really terrible, and I think it's a problem with a lot of YouTubers is when we get into what we're doing, we don't tend to keep talking. Okay, yeah, like how that's coming. I do think I'm going to finish her gauntlets with the purple, which is these things right here. That's a gauntlet. And those are, this here would also be that same color, because that's her elbow of the gauntlet. Just that part. Yeah, save your money for facials. They're very expensive. I got a deal on my facial actually that I went for today, and it was like only $99 compared to $400. So it's one of those promotional things where they're trying to sell you all the other stuff, but I'm pretty good at saying, "No, I can't afford it," and just going for the one, seeing if I like it. But I did like it. So we'll see. Maybe I'll go back again. You never know. But I don't know if I want to book myself in for a year's worth of facials at like $300 a crack. Oh yeah, they want to do micro needling, and they did a dermabrasion on me and all sorts of stuff. And we're talking Canadian dollars too. So for you guys in the States, it would be a little less expensive than that, converting to American dollars. So I think what I'm going to do with my because I've got some of the gray kind of looking colors of the cherry blossoms, as I'm just going to take this and kind of dot where a lot of those are and make them look like the leaves there. You might not be able to see them on the screen, but they're in the book. And if they're not exact, I still think that they add. Got a couple up here. How's that? Oh, well, thank you, View. Yes, I was hoping to get there before the end of the new year, but I got there, I think it was like the 2nd. So I'm really happy it got there. Now I'm trying to get a little bit more on my live hours. See how that goes. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how things are turning out. Not stressing out about it too much. Not trying to win the YouTube awards or anything like that. So, yeah. I do what pleases me. I like my little Etsy shop. I do fun things in there and sell vintage items that I find in thrift stores that I think people might like. You know, I do the things that I like to do, and no stress, man. Yeah. I have no idea if I would ever even get anything worthwhile off of YouTube, but we'll see. Like I say, not gonna worry. If I get there, if I get there. If I don't, I don't. And I have other things to keep me busy in life, other than bowing down to YouTube. And I guess I should be quiet. They might be listening. So how long ago have I been? How long have I been on? Going to give myself a home mini facial now. Yeah. Ha. You take care, Barb. Give yourself a nice little relaxing facial. I hope it's getting on in the evening. I know for you it must be getting on to 10 o'clock or after. No, I think you're the same time as me now, so it's probably 20 after 9. But you take care. Love you, and we'll see you around soon, okay? Bye, Barb. And how are you doing, View? Oh yeah, I like how that's turning out. Alrighty. Well, I know that I know that she's gonna have some kind of flowers and gold birds in her hair. I haven't decided. These have got to be purple though. Oh, yes, it does. It depends. You know, you can use your fingers only, but it is attaching to your shoulder. You know, when they say when you paint or you draw, and a lot of people only use their wrist. But a real artist doesn't use only their wrist, they use their whole arm to make strokes. And yeah, then you are using your shoulder a lot. A lot. And I feel you, View, because I've been having some problems with my shoulder lately and my arm. I fell a couple of weeks ago and I pulled it a little bit, but the shoulder's okay. I keep going to the chiro and I keep trying to stretch it out. Now, I think those are gold little swans. Kind of similar to a picture that I had a little earlier. I'm just going to add a few more petals here on her. Okay. And okay. There. That's better. That's better. That's better, yeah. So I've kind of got some colors blocked in of where I want them. Haven't quite decided about the cat and the dog, but I think I've got my basic color scheme going here, and everything from now on is going to be based on what I currently have happening. So we will see how it goes. I've got some gray blues I can do up in these branches up here, similar to him. Yeah, I can kind of see where I'm going with this now. All right, oh my. What are you saying, View? I see lol right, oh my, awesome. I don't know what that's in reference to. And now I know why YouTubers have such a hard time when we make comments. Anyways, I've been on here for almost an hour now. Yeah, just about. So I want to thank everybody for coming by. I just popped in, did this real quick. View, don't know how far along you are now, but you can see where I am. And we'll talk about where we are. Yeah. Yeah, an hour. I think an hour is good to get in an hour, and I don't know if it's teachable, but you can see what I've done. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, View, for coming by. Devon's off. Anybody else here I'm missing? I see Lori. No, I guess it's just us. So thank you, girls. Thank you for coming by. And I hope we catch up with each other again real soon. I will be looking for you. Thank you. And yeah, hugs to both you, View, and hugs to you, Lori. And we'll see you again. Have a good sleep. And bye, everybody.